Queenslander. Absolutely, Queensland won a game they should not have won. And New South Wales were absolute basket case, to be honest. New South Wales should have won this game, I'd say 50 points to 12, something like that. But instead, they just could not score points. They looked rudderless in attack. The Penrith, I think the Penrith Blues is about to be absolutely exploded. I think you're going to see a lot of players get kicked out. Is Nathan Cleary the next Mitchell Pearce, because he's absolutely not delivering at the origin level for New South Wales. They should have the better team on paper, but they just never seem to be able to get it done. New South Wales, are they passionate enough? Is there questions about some of the players in the team that they're not going to play for Australia? Are they really committed to the New South Wales team, like the Luais, the Jerome Port, and the Junior Portlaw, Payne Haas, these ones that are not necessarily going to play for, depending who they're going to play for, and there's plenty more in the team. Are they really, Stephen Crichton, Brian To'o, are they really committed to the jersey of New South Wales? I know it's a bit of a, people will say this is controversial, but to me, are they really putting in hard enough for this team? I mean, I think Junior Portlaw played well, and Stephen Crichton was solid, but and Brian To'o just does what he does, just very solid at getting out of yardage, but question marks about on the other side when trying to score tries. So Queensland, again, seems to be the Munster show, gets it done every single time when it's needed. And when you had someone like Fidow out there who's got pace to burn, he absolutely carved up. But let's dissect the New South Wales Blues team first and see where it all went wrong. And as I call them, the Penrith Blues, I don't think they're going to be the Penrith Blues after this one. I think game 2, you're going to see a whole heap of changes. People are saying not. I think there will be a whole heap of changes. If there's not, Brad Fittler, I might as well hang up the noose and say, see you later, I'm out of here, I'm out the door, because he ain't going to be in the team. He won't be the coach if they lose game 2. This will be his last season. I think it will be his last season anyway. He tried to make some big calls, but they were duds. Hudson Young was nothing to be seen. Tavita Pangai Jr., absolutely. He was solid, but he didn't put the world on fire. Same with Payne Haas, he didn't put the world on fire. He should have put a big hit on Reece Walsh in his first run. It was just a soft tackle. This is all the stuff I'm talking about. Why the Blues are not hungry enough to win. They just did not have the defensive mindset that was needed. They had But anyway, let's first off look at James Tedesco. Is he safe or should he go? Well, my personal opinion, he should go. I think he's had his time. He's been a very good player for a long time, but he just hasn't been able to deliver that passing game which is needed. And that's why Queensland had done so well. Billy Slater was able to give out that offload. I think the time has come. Either there's a few options with the Blues here. You could go for Tommy Turbo. I think a Tommy Turbo at his 100%, he would be a shoo-in for me to put him at fullback. But unfortunately, he's not at 100%, and because he's missing the next 2 games, I don't know if he'll be fit enough to play fullback. There's a push. We'll put Dylan Edwards in there, but he is just the same as Tedesco. I don't think that's the thing. I think if they want to be the game changer, I think Latrell Mitchell is the man for fullback. If you're going to change the fullback, I'm telling you now, Tedesco will be named fullback for New South Wales for game 2. Though. It's a shoo-in. But if it was me, I would probably look at putting Latrell Mitchell at fullback. I think he's the most influential player in the game at his best. And I think he would be dynamic at fullback for New South Wales. And you need people in form to be playing in the key positions. Let's look at the wingers here. To'o and Josh Adokar. To'o, he's always solid. And he'll probably keep his spot in Adokar. I think there's not going to be much of a change in that team, but you could argue that there's a few players in around him, like Campbell Graham, even Alex Johnson, the try-scoring freak. There's a push that I would probably put Tommy Turbo on the wing. If I was selecting the team, I would probably drop To'o and put Turbo there. The question mark is the yardage game though. Toho does get a lot of yardage out of there. But yeah, if it was me personally picking the team, it would be Turbo and Adokar on the wing. That's the way I'll put it. I think Turbo would be better suited on the wing, and he could do his roaming game from there. I don't think he needs to play centre to do the roaming game. I think he could be just as potent. The centres, well, now that I've left Mitchell out and Turbo out, what's going to happen there? Even though it's debut, but Campbell Graham to me could just come straight in there, slot in beautifully. Which makes it tough on who would be the other centre pairing if you're going to drop Tedesco. Crichton did enough to suggest he deserves to be in there. I think he's playing good enough football if you're going to put Latrell Mitchell at fullback. Number 6, this is the most contentious one to me. Luai, he didn't play too bad. Probably play one of his better games, to be honest, in the New South Wales jumper. But I would still drop him. I think there's 2 options you can go here. Nico Hines would probably be the safe option in terms of what you get, but I don't know if the combination between him and Cleary would deliver what you wanted, but there's an opportunity to change the team there as well. But yes, to me, if you're going for all out, you need to win this game, and who you think would get you the victory, well, I'm going for Cody Walker. I'll put Cody Walker in there. He's playing beautiful football. He's a bit of an in and out type of player though. That's the thing. He could be an actually disaster pick as well. So I'd understand why they wouldn't pick him. But if you're going on the form this season, he's been absolutely on fire. And you have him and Mitchell on the team playing where they've been playing. I think you'll see a totally different New South Wales team. Their attack will be on fire. And I think when you get to the number 9, you'll see why I've gone with the now it might be called the Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs Blues, and I think the Rabbitohs Blues will be better than the Penrith Blues at this level. I think they will rise to the occasion. Number 7 is another one that you could argue not playing good enough. Nathan Cleary. He is the fullback, yes, and he will be number 7. I mean, not full. He will be the halfback. But you could drop him. You could drop him for Nico Hines. Is one thing, but as Nico Hines couldn't get it done against the Broncos, I think he might be rubbed out as an opportunity. I think, Cleary's going to get picked, don't worry about it. But if you're really looking at going all out, you need someone who's going to deliver. You've got Mitchell Moses would be a player you would look at. But if I was going to swap Cleary for anyone, it would be Reynolds. And Reynolds, he's been there, done that. Very solid, but very similar player. And Nathan Cleary's got more age, so I can understand why you just keep picking Cleary. But is he going to be the next Mitchell Pearce? He can't get the job done for New South Wales. Well, they've got to make a big statement here. Nathan Cleary's going to make a big statement in the second game of Queensland and deliver. Whether he can do that, I'm not sure. If we look at 8, look at the forward pack, it was very disappointing. Payne Huss, he's solid, but not enough for me. He needs to play more minutes. Yes, I'm not really sure where you go here. You can put a few people. I think I'd put Tyson. I'm just going to say who I'm going to, if I was picking the team. I'd probably have Tyson Frizzell as a prop. I think that's where he would need to be. The other player to start is tough to know who to start, to be honest. But I would stick with Payne Haas as starting prop, I think. Damien Cook tonight, I think Coruscant just goes to the bench. I think it's just pretty simple. There, Cook comes in, boom, boom, does his job. Then you got Liam Martin. To me, he's number 11. And then number 12 is a bit of a not sure where you go there. Cameron Murray, I think I'd put. Yeah, it's hard because I think Cameron Murray needs to start as well. But I nearly think he could be 13. I'd probably drop Isaiah actually. I just don't know if he suits what New South Wales need. I think his play for Penrith is totally different to what New South Wales needs. So I probably would put Murray into 13. So yeah, they would bring the option to bring someone like Angus Crichton back into the team somewhere. And he's probably more of an origin player, like a Jairo type player. And if we look at New South Wales bench, where do you go? Well, Uppy Coruscant gets one spot for me. A Bolter, I know they won't pick him, but Dylan Walker's playing very good football, and he would be like a Ruben Cotter type player. I think that's where there's the Bolter if they really want to put someone back out there. I think Dylan Walker is playing good football and would absolutely do nothing wrong if he was given the opportunity again. Been there, done that before. Dale Finucane, I don't know, he didn't play enough minutes last week, but he's certainly a player that when you're going up to Queensland, you need some big units up there. And Junior Paulo obviously would be the other one in the team. So that's the way I would look. So that's leaving out Hudson Young. He wasn't too bad. And Tavita Pangai Jr., I could possibly put him on the bench as well. I think he'd be better suited on the bench. Yeah, obviously got Regan Campbell-Gallard that could come in. There's a lot of options there where you go. But that's just my look at New South Wales possible players they will change. But they're not going to change Tedesco. They're not going to change Cleary. I think Luai is probably the only one that could be in trouble in terms of the spine. I think the rest will be playing. On the Queensland side, there's not going to be too much changes apart from if injury comes in. But yeah, Queensland were just too good. Munster played good football, very good football. Reece Walsh solid in his debut. Nothing outstanding, but he did his job. Be interesting to see how this goes. Ruben Cotter man of the match. I don't know if he was the best player on the field, but he was solid, no doubt about it. But he did come up with a missed tackle earlier in the game and led to a try. So, yeah, interesting scenes here. But at the moment, I think Queensland are going to get 3 wins this series, which is hard to do because even if they win this game, they haven't been able to win their last game back in New South Wales. But I think this is their golden opportunity to do it. I'm suggesting Brad Fittler will be gone. Billy Slater will resign. I think he'll only resign short term because I believe there's going to be a push. Well, obviously Jason Rolls wants to be the Melbourne Storm's coach, but then also I think that Billy Slater will be their coach eventually. So it's going to be an interesting talk if Craig Bellamy stays around long enough till Billy Slater's ready to want to be an NRL coach, or if Jason Rolls will get the tip. That's the way I'm looking at the. Anyway, that's just a little bit about the game and how they went and New South Wales selection. But thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe.